All right, welcome back, everybody. We got another semifinals match tonight. We got Trip AU and Z-Barf going at it. Trip just coming off a win. Z-Barf just coming off a commentary. Should be an interesting dynamic here. Thunder, I know you're excited about this one. How do you feel about this matchup?
Absolutely. This can really go either way. We saw Zbarf play so well in his first round match against Kayla, someone who does have a sub 18. So he's been in this seat before. He's been the underdog, and we've seen him be resilient. So I'm really excited to see what develops here. Trip had some really solid runs in his last round, but Zbarf is going to play really well. So I don't think it's going to be as easy as it was for him last round. Definitely going up against someone who's going to do the exact same route as him, playing on the same version of the game. So it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think Trip will be a little bit more like try hard in these ones. I didn't watch the whole other match, so I can't really speak for Trip's gameplay, but I feel like going up against, somebody on an N64, probably going for swordless route, most likely, probably not going as hard as you would against, someone on a more level playing field. Maybe trying to, soften your punches a little bit. But Z-Barf, a furious competitor, got a 1915, does a lot of races. I think Trip's going to have his work cut out for him in this one.
Absolutely. Definitely a matchup that I could see going to a game 3. And yeah, it should be interesting. This is a little bit of a mentality change for Trip because, yeah, for sure. I mean, probably had the stream up and definitely went into that matchup knowing that he already had an advantage, not only with the language of the game, but with the actual route. And actually having a sword can be a little helpful. So, this match going into it, he knows that he has to play really well. So we'll see if that mentality change affects him at all, as it looks like they're doing the countdown and getting started. Maybe
Yeah.
not. It looks like Trip reset. I got confused. But
yeah,
we'll be getting started shortly. You have any predictions for this matchup? By the way, do we want to get predictions going in the chat? I guess I could do that or something.
We already have predictions going in the chat. It's crazy. It's like a voice was already inside your head.
Awesome. Sounds good.
But as far as predictions go, I definitely think both players are going to ascend to a new plane of existence and pop off. So it's going to be an excellent matchup.
Absolutely. I would say that Zbarf has a little bit more experience in a race setting. And he, again, like I said, he's been here before, and he races with Dan, who's one of the best runners in this category. So he knows what it's like to be an underdog and to go up against somebody who has a much better time with him. And I think as we've noticed, especially in these earlier rounds, the PB is not always indicative of how it's going to turn out. We've had a lot of upsets in terms of the PB this tournament, so I think we're going to see a really tight matchup here, and I'm really excited to be here to commentate it.
Yeah, we are synced up. The races are underway, and I'm excited.
Me too. I'm actually thrilled to be here.
I've watched Trip for a long time. I'm having a hard time not being too biased, but recently met Zach. Zach's a good guy. Definitely. Rooting
Both
for
of
him
these guys
well.
are super nice and great pieces of the community. I actually am more recent to Trip's stream. For whatever reason, it's interesting how you just kind of stumble across people at different times. But yeah, Zach is a really great player. Something definitely to watch for Zbarf is he's very good at Gim, and that's a trick that has been very such a pivotal part of these runs. So, if Zbarf gets a good Gim, maybe gets in Trip's head a little bit, I don't know. I mean, I really like Zbarf here for these races. Trip, obviously, a really talented runner. So, yeah, for sure.
All right. Deku Tree going to be summoning Navi here to Link's house, finally giving Link a fairy. For some reason, he doesn't really get one on his own. Who'd have thunk? Kind of strange.
Yeah.
Why.
Well, yeah, a little bit of lore there, Link's not really a Kokiri, so yeah, I guess he didn't get a fairy right away.
Zelda fan, you have wandered into a defeat Ganon no SRM race. This is a speedrun race. We got two hot speedrunners, hot competitors going head to head, trying to defeat the Dark Lord Ganon as soon as possible using a slightly arbitrary rule set. So if you like speedrunning or if you just like Zelda in general, you should have a good time here.
Yeah, this is a really, really awesome category in my opinion to do races. I'm surprised we didn't do it earlier, but I'm happy
Me
we're here
too.
now. And yeah, this is a really, really awesome category to race. A lot of things can happen all across this run. So yeah, I mean, even with all the new routes and any percent, to beat Ganon in this amount of time is awesome. I mean, none of us thought this was possible when the game came out. So really, really exciting.
I mean, speak for yourself. I was like 9 years old. I was in the Deku tree, you know, just messing around with the bottle, walking towards the door, you know, Ocarina items in the blue warp. Kind of a prodigy. I've actually seen quite a few people like try to play off that they like invented like RBA in like 2001. And it's like, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. Like maybe
Took
you
me
do
a
the
year and
ball
a
or
half to
something,
beat
but
this game for the first time. So
I don't know about that one. I mean, it's possible. It always gives off very like I had world record in
yeah, for sure.
1999 vibes, but I didn't record.
All right. Well, Trip is going to exit the house slightly sooner than Z-Barf, so it looks like he did a little better mashing. However, if you have been watching these races, the early game is something that really doesn't impact as much as the later game with the huge tricks, but still interesting to see the difference in movement, see who is maybe feeling a little bit more confident, and we're going to watch them do the rupee route, get the sword and the shield.
Yeah, I mean, the early game is definitely less prone to like those minute-long mistakes, but every second counts in the speedrun race, especially when it comes down to those categories. What is Z-Barf doing? Oh my god, thought he was going to get bouldered, tried to wait it out, and then, oh my god, the double boulder. Z-Barf has to get it together. That is not how you want to start a race.
Just like you were saying, things like this can change the race. I was going to say backflipping onto the chest is a big one, but you hit into that boulder twice, you mess up the whole timing of the sword maze. So that is not great for Z-Barf. Not a great start, but we'll see if he can come back. Maybe Trip, you know, trips up a little bit, and we'll see if Z-Barf can come back into this one. One thing that I was noticing about Trip is he really loves to do that back walk straight into the crawl space, really, really showing that he's confident, and it is a very, very fast strat. It's definitely a shame if you turn around and roll and miss it, but seems like he's got a really, really confident setup for the forest here.
Yeah, both players kind of finding their stride now. Zach kind of pulling things together. We'll see how things progress. Oh my gosh, barely landing on the side of that and not getting the rupee. What? Okay. I did not think that he could just walk back on there and grab that rupee, but apparently the timer had not run out yet.
Yeah, that's a really, really interesting thing. Yeah, really interesting. And you know what, Saren? It's funny because remember how you said you were watching the stream last time? That's what I'm doing. So I was a little bit behind. But yeah, that's something that can happen. If the timer is still active, you can kind of just walk back onto that block if you're lucky enough, and it'll still work. So yeah, very, very lucky for Z-Barf. We see maybe some nerves showing. Maybe he didn't prepare like he needed to, but we see Trip get a pretty nice boost. Pretty interesting strat from Trip to get the boost there. But yeah, I still think Z-Barf is in this, and yeah, we see Trip talking to Deku Tree now. Looks like a pretty good enter Deku time for Trip. Definitely playing really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what either of us think, is definitely a close race. Neither runner is going to be out of it for some time now. We've seen players with very good PBs die to Ganon in this tournament, and this weekend alone, we've also seen. I mean, I don't know if anyone was around for the J Daddy versus Randy matchup, but that was a complete chaos
That was
event.
quite a journey.
I mean, that was like a 1 hour or something defeat Ganon no SRM race where we tried to call it like halfway through almost. Oh, and Zach having a troublesome time getting the back walk into the tree.
Trip getting a sub 6 enter, a 559 enter. Enter Deku actually isn't one of Trip's strong suits, but really, really nice to see him get a really insane time for Enter Deku. A 559 is absolutely top. So we see Trip. It looks like he did a pause buffer on the right frame there, a bufferless turnaround, and this looks like a really, really great position for Trip as Zbarf is having a little bit of trouble with quick put away here. And it looks like Trip is going to get the Gim here with the nut and the item delay.
Oh.
So really, really solid start from Trip. I wonder what his pace is because he's playing really well.
I legit thought that Zbarf didn't get that. Quick put away for a second, but unfortunately unable to get out of bounds there, and Trip kind of accelerating to the lead right here. You'll have to see if that continues moving forward, but so far looking pretty hot on this one.
I'm not surprised to see Zbarf go for the bufferless Gim. He does it a lot in his runs, and like I said, he's very, very good at it. However, maybe in this kind of a race, it might be worth just spending those couple of seconds just to make sure you get that frame.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, there's so many things we talk about doing backup strats in these races, like even getting like extra nuts and sticks, and buffering a frame or two on Gim is definitely something that I think a lot of racers should consider if they aren't already doing so already. I mean, it is a flex if you're really, really confident in it, and it obviously is a time save apart from that, but when Trip taking a death to the scrubs, that is a huge opening that Barf is going to hopefully capitalize on here. Looks like the item delay is going to be good, so we're heading up the vines here. Trip's still going to be quite a bit ahead, headed down into the basement, but definitely a nice chunk of time save potential for Zbarf. Something that he was desperately in need of.
Absolutely, this is huge for Zbarf. Really didn't really have a strong opening. Although Trip is right back at the scrubs, does need to take his damage, but Trip definitely helping Barf out a little bit there with dying at scrubs, something that we really wouldn't expect from a runner of this caliber.
Like, why didn't he shield again? Okay, turns out needed to take some damage. You want to be at half a heart heading into the Goma fight to use a strategy on VC called double hit KO. Lets you die on the same frame that you killed Goma, warp up to the top of the Deku tree. It's a pretty good strategy.
Yeah, so we're gonna see Trip do it's interesting. He does equips before he does a jump slash. You see a lot of runners do the equips during the jump slash, and looks like Zbarf getting some extra sticks, and or just getting one extra stick. And oh, that's tough. Going for the torch flip, didn't have the right angle, and he goes back onto B1. So that is really, really tough for Zbarf. However, B1, not the most difficult trick, but can be very, very difficult in some circumstances, as we see Trip doing the double KO strat like Saren was talking about earlier.
Yeah, going for the buffer there on the first attempt on B1 skip. Messed that buffer up. That feels bad man moment. I mean, you never want to be buffering that trick, honestly, and unless you're like just kind of getting started, you're just getting used to it. It's definitely a reasonable trick to buffer, but it's always a feels bad man to see buffers there.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we're always saying that these big tricks are really, really the things that matter, and that the big tricks are what decide these tournaments. But sometimes, not only do these missing that second scrub right there, but not only do these small mistakes add up over time, but they can really get into your head when you miss something that is something that's very, very common, something that you're very, very used to not struggling with. It can really mess with your mentality. So it's something that also really needs to be taken note of. Trip getting a really, really nice West to Lost Woods as Barf enters Goma.
Yeah, I really hope chat has their notepads out. They're jotting down these important facts. I mean, everybody's going to have that on their test. You're going to be handed a Nintendo 64. You're going to be handed a controller, and you got to complete this run afterwards. So make sure to take your notes. Make sure to keep attention on the screen.
No
splicing. Eardrums on. Yeah, I don't even want to talk to you if you're a splicer. I mean, we've got the supercomputers to verify the speedruns, so you will get caught.
I always think it would be funny if there was a speedrunning class and like your final project was to submit a run.
I mean, that'd be pretty epic, but I'm not sure what academic value that would have.
Johnny, your audio is a little suspicious. I don't know. Might be
your
enough.
audio cuts out at the 5-minute mark. Johnny, can you explain that to me? All right, it looks like Zbarf having some trouble on the Goma fight, getting a 2-cycle here. Hopefully we don't see a death to the eggs. We've seen some
Oh, we've seen some unfortunate
patterns on the drop. I mean, it
Trip
happens.
doing a little swag with the inverted cam, going back into the decade tree.
Yeah, that's sick. Inverted cam is, I don't know why, it's like the hardest thing for me to do. I like, if there's a trick that like requires / suggests inverted camera, I just can't do it. And Z-Bar taking another cycle on Goma, this is not a good time. I mean, we were talking about how the early game doesn't matter too much. We're getting into the mid game here, but taking cycles on Goma is, it's painful.
Killer.
That's like what, 40 seconds time loss, 20 something seconds. I mean, it feels like a year to me, honestly. That egg was deadly. That egg was coming for his head.
Yeah. Looks like he does get the double KO here. Definitely had a lot of trouble at Goma. Trip has been absolutely moving since he died at Scrubs. Looks like he is going to get a workable frame here for Wrong Warp. And this looks pretty good so far. Walked about 1.5 steps. That's pretty good for that frame. And should definitely get him into Ganon's tower here, which it does.
Yeah,
going through the middle of those rocks, man.
I think it's fine going through the middle. As long if you start rolling through the middle of the rocks in a race, then I feel like you have no care for your own like self-presence. Like you're just trying to like lose your run. You're trying to throw. If you're rolling through the rocks, there's something wrong with you.
So we'll see how Z-Barf does this movement over to Lost Woods. Probably just going to do kind of a standard setup for a Wes. Really, really exciting trick coming up here. Obviously for Trip, we're going to see Instaclip. A trick that, it looks like Z-Barf is having some trouble with that, Wes, but Instaclip is something that's relatively new for Trip. It's something that I believe he just got his first PB with Instaclip. Oh, and Wessing into the house for Z-Barf.
No.
Just a run where it's tough to see, and a lot of things going wrong for Z-Barf here. Someone who's a really, really talented runner and racer, just not having the luck here.
Wait, so Zelda fan, are you telling me that you didn't walk through that door as a kid and go to Ganon and beat the game? Like, I was pretty sure that's the only way to get there, right?
Yeah, that's how you do it. I'm pretty sure that's in the walkthrough.
But all sarcasm aside, that is a trick called Wrong Warp. One of the, I believe, first places Wrong Warps were really implemented into speedrunning. Basically, there's a cutscene pointer. You manipulate that pointer to load into a different area of the game by basically you like jump to a portal, cancel going through the portal, and then exit another door. It's pretty complicated. There's entire videos based on explaining it if you want to go check those out on YouTube, but gist of it is you confuse the game, you go to somewhere it doesn't intend for you to go. Pretty neat. Yeah,
definitely an awesome trick. Was a huge point for Ocarina of Time speedrunning when that was found, and we saw a really, really great kind of time of Ocarina of Time speedrunning in any percent when that was found. So awesome trick that's in all of our hearts. So we're gonna see Zach missing that bufferless again, going for a tough trick without that buffer that might be something that is worth doing here, but I think he's confident. I think he knows that tough with the, that's about, I'm not sure if that's 1 or 2 frames late. I think that's 2 frames late on that pause one. It's always tough with the rolls. I don't know. I kind of just reset whenever I see Link not on a good frame.
What?
So,
you reset on that? Come on. No.
All right. So it looks like Trip was having some trouble with Instaclip, and it looks like he's having a little trouble with Void Warp here. So Z-Barf is going into Wrong Warp here. And this looks like a decent rock for Trip. Ooh, but I don't know. It's going to roll into him, and that is tough. So he is going to have to drink bugs. So this is going to be pretty close. Hopefully Z-Barf, flips a little bit early there. We're going to see him do a bit of a backup with that lineup. It's not necessarily a normalized strat, but it's pretty safe within a few frames to line your boots up there. This looks like it's going to be a good Wrong Warp for Z-Barf. So we got to keep watching. Oh, Trip gets hit by a falling rock while trying to drink bugs. And
now we got to drink bugs twice.
Sure. This is going to be interesting to see. We'll see how Trip deals with this.
Barf failed.
I don't think, Z-Barf fails Wrong Warp. Did he end up in the, I was watching Trip. Did he end up outside, or did he end up, in the cutscene or in the base?
He must have ended up in the cutscene because he reset. Otherwise, he would have just gone for it again. But yeah,
That's
that's pretty
tough.
harsh. I mean, Trip's having a lot of trouble on Void Warp, or at least he was. Now we are sliding into the corner, which is pretty conclusive that we're gonna probably be getting it as long as we don't make any major mental errors, and does indeed make it down there.
Yeah, good to see Trip. Definitely paused for a little bit there when he got that on target, just to take enough time to set that ESS in the right position. Definitely hard. Your hands sometimes shaking, maybe a little bit sweaty during a race. Definitely good to take just that extra amount of time during that pause to make sure it's in the right position.
Yeah, and more importantly, getting past that re-dead bridge guard. So we're going to
Right.
be seeing a lot of, rolls up the staircase. Otherwise, that re-dead can give you a big hug and kind of end your run, unfortunately.
Trip not getting the kiss, and unfortunately, that's going to mean that he has to reset. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so we got Trip going into the Ganon cutscene here, and Zbarf had to go back and reset that cutscene pointer in Link's house. So if you didn't know about that, basically, if you fail wrong warp and you get teleported outside the tree, what we need to do is reset the game and go into Link's house and pause so that the trick will actually work. If we were to just go straight back and do the trick, the game will soft lock in a black screen. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, definitely a big time loss here for Zbarf.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for Zbarf in this one. I mean, things were going rough at the beginning of the game, and then, Trip started finally having some major flubs at Void Warp / Instaclip, and then you just can't quite nail the wrong warp, even when it looks pretty good. I mean, that's a harsh time, but hopefully we'll get through this time.
It looks like we are getting some news here that Paint Skate just got the any % world record for Ocarina of Time.
What?
So that is pretty crazy. Paint is a really, really great runner, and he's been working at that new angle setup and that route for a while. So big news in the Zelda community. Congrats to Paint.
It's
It's awesome
crazy.
to hear. Really, really tough run for Zbarf here. I think he's going to be disappointed with this run. I think he has high standards for himself, and but look, that's why we got this best out of 3. Sometimes runs can go like that. All these big tricks and even the small things in between, as we've seen, can just go the wrong way for whatever reason. It doesn't even have to be because you're not prepared. Sometimes it just doesn't fall your way. So really, Trip just got to play it safe here and not die at Ganon. He may even have time if he dies, but hopefully it doesn't go to that.
I mean, maybe Zbarf is just an any % lover. He just really loves Kokiri Forest and doesn't want to leave. I think that's a fair assumption too.
Yeah,
Might
for
be
sure.
Might be a choice thing.
All right, always epic to watch this cutscene going into Ganon. Gotta love the incarnation of the evil spirit from Ganondorf. So yeah, anything can happen here, but Trip has been here many times before, and we're going to see him take down Ganon with that Deku Stick as he does a backflip, which saves about half a second. It's actually a really, really interesting strat. Gets you a bit closer to Zelda, and yeah, really, really nice.
Really, really nice internet from Thunder.
Disconnected for a split second there again, which happened last time. But we are back, and yeah, looks like oh, interesting there. I don't think Trip is doing. Did he it looks like he normal slashed Ganon there. I'm not sure if he's doing full damage or if he corrected that. Did you see that, Saren?
I wasn't looking.
We'll see here. This should be the final hit, and it is. So Trip here is going to finish off Ganon with a pretty good time. It looks like it's going to be just shy of 21 minutes. I think he will be pretty happy about this. Definitely tough for Barf. Something that I think he's going to take this information into the next run, but I still wouldn't be surprised to see a game 3 here. I think we've seen a lot of runners really come back, really set themselves in game 2 in order to prepare themselves to make it a little bit more difficult on their opponents. So Trip finishing off Ganon, pretty good run for Trip. Some minor mistakes here and there, a lot of trouble at Void Warp. But good enough to win this first game.
Trip delay to get 2101 or 21 flats? Question mark.
Hasn't he gotten like 3 21 flats?
Yeah, I think he stood around probably. He stood around on one of the last ones to get 21.
Oh,
But
maybe.
it's
That's
cheating,
pretty funny.
illegal, no time corrections, no predetermined times.
However, I mean, it shows that Trip is playing consistent. He hasn't had a run that's, ran over 22 or 23 minutes. So he's playing very confident. He's playing very consistent, and that's something that we've seen is so valuable, so important in these runs, especially for these best of threes. So we'll get the runners in here if they're willing to talk to us. Yeah, GG's to both runners.
Yeah, we'll see if Barf wants to end his run out. Looks like he's planning on it, so be a little bit. Maybe we can get Trip in here in the meantime to talk about some stuff. Who knows? But for right now, we got Zach heading down the tower, looking for a void warp. Will the rocks be nice? Could see a GG here, or just like a not necessarily a forfeit, but just going on to the next one if the rocks aren't too nice. We'll have to see though.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I definitely don't blame Z-Barf here for trying to finish this. I mean, not only is it great to see the resiliency, but why not get in a little bit of more practice before that next race, as we are joined by Trip. How's it going, my friend?
Yeah, it was good. It was good, bro. I'm doing well, doing well.
So you've had 3 races that have been pretty consistent, around 21 minutes, almost exactly. Is this something that, did you come into these races pretty confident? How do you feel about the way you've been playing?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I haven't actually seen Bath run before, so I wasn't really sure how consistent they were with things. So I just decided to just get through the run and just buffer stuff and just go for it. And yeah, I think it's just, especially for races, it's just consistency is so important, to the point where you don't really want to, unless you're on like super hype PB pace and you're going to go for it anyway. I think going for safety and consistency is just the way to go.
No! Sorry, just reacting to Barf running into a ground rock there on that final staircase, and looks like that's going to be it for his run. So Trip, you had a really, really great start. I believe a 5:59 enter. I'm not exactly sure what that split was, but how does that compare to your PB, and how good did you feel about that start that you had?
So yeah, my PB's enter deku is Garbo, straight Garbo. It's like a 608. My enters have actually been, for the past like couple of days, been pretty nice. I've been getting a lot of either 6 flats or 6 sub 6s, like 558, 559. You might have noticed in most of these races, I don't do Rose Rock, I don't do Bridge Flip or any of those more advanced strategies to push down the enter deku time. I just haven't practiced or felt the need to implement something like that saves a second and a half but adds quite a lot of frustration. So for me, a sub 6 or a 6 flat is totally fine. And yeah, according to my splits, I was 7.34 seconds ahead after Gim
Wow.
on my PB. So it wasn't the absolute best, but it was
Take those.
yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't like, oh, this run sucks. It'd be like, yeah, all right, let's see what we can do. I forgot oh yeah, I died to scrubs. That was kind of dumb. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and
Well,
I mean, Zach, going to the next one, you had a bit of rough time on the first matchup. How are you feeling
Yeah, it
about
was
your second
rough.
race?
Hoping it's gonna be better, and that's all. But yeah, just really struggled getting wrong warp. Was just a little late every time getting through there. So yeah, hoping to do better all around.
All right, well, hopefully we can get into the next match here as long as both gamers are ready. On to game
Yeah,
2.
get it.
I'm
Yes,
ready to see
indeed.
it.
All right.
Get the racers back in their dungeon. I mean, voice conversation, and they will do their countdown, and we will get things started here.
yeah, so Saren, anything that surprised you about that match? Anything that maybe we're thinking about differently going into this game too? I
I think Barf's going to be playing with the chip on his shoulder.
Absolutely.
I definitely think Barf doesn't want to go 0-2 here in this matchup. This is the second match for Barf. So who did he play in the last one? I don't remember.
Z-Barf actually beat Kayla in the last match.
Oh yeah, that was a sick upset. Honestly, I mean, Kayla had some
Absolutely.
issues, but mostly with the controller settings, but still played really good. I mean, definitely won at least one of those fair and square. So good to see Z-Bar performing at a pretty high level, batting a little bit above average, and hopefully we'll see a game 3 here as we get into game 2.
I'll tell you, going into this second game after having a really, really disappointing first race, the mindset is completely different. You're a little bit angry. You got that chip on your shoulder. You know that a lot of people are watching you. This is where you have to prove yourself and establish yourself as someone who can hang. So I definitely expect a much, much better race here from Z-Barf. I think he's going to come out and play all the way up to his potential. So definitely still not putting a game 3 past these guys, but Tripp has been playing really, really consistent, as he said. So I think this is going to be a much tighter race. And yeah, stay tuned. This is going to be awesome. Always a question about what to talk about here in this intro cutscene.
About how awesome Navi the Fairy is at flying.
We always get into some light lore with this intro.
I mean, we can go for the go-to commentary backup plan. What is your favorite fast food restaurant?
You know, my favorite fast food. Dude, I don't know. Probably I gotta say Chick-fil-A for the sauce, honestly. That sauce is where it's at. But I don't get a lot of fast food, but when I do, I gotta get that spicy chicken sandwich,
Yeah, I think as far as like drive-through chains go, I think Wendy's is the bomb. They have too many deals. They got the spicy chicken nuggets. Although they got rid of the Monterey Ranch crispy chicken sandwich years ago, I will forgive them.
You a Baconator fan?
It's all right. I mean, it's not that bad.
Shake Shack's another. We're getting a Shake Shack pretty close to where I live, actually, which is pretty exciting, around the mall. So pretty hyped about that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can rouse this lazy boy.
Yeah, we can see pretty early if anyone's ahead. It looks like they're pretty much neck and neck, frame perfect here. So
Insane.
Yeah, always
Massive
good to see
skill.
that.
They hit A and B pretty quickly. Perhaps C up.
Yeah, maybe C up. So yeah, if you guys don't know, there are 3 buttons you can use to advance these text boxes, and that is A, B, and the C up input. All right, yeah, they look pretty identical here, pretty close. Definitely going to watch this early movement closely. Z-Barf really struggling in that last race in the sword maze and in other areas as well. And we saw Tripp get a sub-6 enter, so it's going to be really interesting to see if anything changes here, if we see something similar.
Very important note, both racers got pink fairies. That is probably the most important thing to dissect here as we move into the crawl space. But yeah, Barf had some issues in the maze. Hopefully we don't see him again. All right, it's a pretty cut and dry section. Oh my goodness, and as I say that, we got a twisted angle here on the backflip. Hate to see it, but we're all good.
I think he's going to be okay, though. He composed himself, and still got it. That backflip can cause you some issues, but I see a lot of top runners going for it, and I think it's pretty similar to that early backwalk. So I'm not sure if one of those are faster, but really 2 strats that I think is just kind of speedrunner's choice. Honestly, really neither give you a huge advantage compared to the other.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that backflip frame perfectly is slightly faster, but backwalking is more consistently faster. Personally, for some reason, I just can't backwalk without stopping, so I always just backflip. Even coming out of the maze in N64 Kakariko route, I always do a backflip just because backwalking Link's just nah, I'm gonna pause here for a sec.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of trouble with that. I originally started I originally did the backflip, and then yeah, it took me a little bit to learn the backwalk, and I'm not sure if it was worth it, but I do the backwalk now. Kind of interesting. So we're gonna see. It looks like a 45 shield from Tripp, which is very, very good. And probably not quite as good of an Enter Deku as we're going to see from last race. I'm not exactly sure if he stumbled a bit, but both of these racers going to be exiting Link's shop at a pretty respectable time. Anything under 5 minutes is definitely good for a race scenario like this. So yeah, we'll see how this develops now going into the Deku Tree.
Link's shop, monk ass, bought the whole forest up. He's a
Yeah.
mogul.
All right, looks like
Island
Trip.
takeover.
Really nice roll from Trip, not going straight into that Deku Stick hitbox as he gets a really, really nice boost. Z-Barf not having the same kind of luck.
Z-Barf's boost looked pretty good to me. I don't know. That was pretty fat. Absolutely sprinting into that cutscene.
Looks like we may possibly see another high 5-minute enter from Trip. I'm not exactly sure. If he ends this text box at 550, he's got a shot here. This is going to be close. Obviously, kind of depends when you split, but it also depends on that boost. And yeah, that is going to be a 59. Andrew in the chat calling it an experienced runner in and of himself. So Barf getting a 607 though, which, you know what, for this race, I think is something that is definitely improvement from his first race. So good to see from both runners playing pretty well.
Massive.
Yeah, so Trip getting a pretty comfortable QPA here. Looks like Z-Barf is going to go for that second cycle here. Again, not pause buffering that QPA, which is frame perfect. And we continue to see Trip really nail these tricks, but with pause buffers. And you think maybe that's a key for him being so consistent?
I wasn't looking. Are you talking about pause buffer and QPA?
So Trip pause buffered the vine grab, and I don't think that's something that maybe he normally does in runs. And I think maybe he's been pause buffering B1 as well. But he mentioned in that post game interview after game 1 that he is doing some pause buffers just to play it safe. And I think it's benefiting here as Z-Barf's still struggling to get that QPA.
I mean, you're not trying to get a PB here. You're not trying to get a 1730. You're not trying to get anything lower than that. You're trying to get a better time than the other player. And especially when you know you have the upper hand, like why not just play it a little bit safer? Go for a buffer where you normally wouldn't. Oh
Yeah,
no. Okay, that's fine. That's a little bit weird, but it's fine.
And it was actually intended because, and I'll explain that real quick. So Trip had 2.5 hearts. I'm not exactly sure. I'm guessing he hit that grass when he was doing Gim and doing the Baba. So yeah, he did a little different movement there to land on B1 and instead of landing in the water to take a full heart of damage there. So actually a really, really smart play by Trip instead of wasting more time potentially taking damage from Scrubs or Goma.
Yeah, way above my pay grade. I didn't even know what was going on. I had to have the experts come in the booth and tell me what's going on. We need to get those like in-ear like audio things and like have some person in the background telling me what to do so that I don't say stupid stuff.
Dan's been really great. I know he's also doing a really good job with the restreaming, but definitely last tournament, a lot of times when I was commentating and the commentators weren't exactly sure what was going on, Dan was always there to be the technical expert and come in, the guy in the booth where we could go to for the exact explanation. So we see Trip going into Goma. Oh, definitely tough, as that's actually double trouble for Z-Barf, as not only he fails that torch flip, but he also breaks his stick in the process. So Z-Barf continuing to struggle.
Yeah, so massive.
Not something I expected.
Right.
And now getting that extra stick. Was there what was scary with Trip or?
No, Barf like kind of jumped off the edge for no reason, going towards the stick Baba.
Yeah. And this can be tough. It's very tough to get this angle without. Yeah, so he gets it there, which is good. Definitely a little bit tougher to get that angle for that torch flip if you don't target. If it's not the traditional kind of targeting when you're climbing up that ledge after B1 skip. So good to see Barf get it.
It's not that bad. There's quite a few ways you can do it. I mean, you can literally just target the torch and do it like a shield turn like straight down and it immediately gives you the right angle. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, definitely something that Zbarf can recover from. However, he is pretty far behind here. I think. What do we need to see here from Zbarf? We did see Pat actually just miss the West Tagoma, but I don't really think that's going to kill him here.
Oh my god, the
as he's
inverted
definitely
camera.
feeling confident here, doing a little bit of swag with the inverted camera and that backflip. But what do we need to see here to?
That was definitely accidental.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Definitely, I think Trip needs to struggle at Void Warp, maybe miss Wrong Warp for Zbarf to get back into this, because even at a kind of mid-game here, he's pretty far behind. So this is going to be tough again for Zbarf to come back here, also down a game. So definitely not wanting to go out in 2 games. Got to start playing better. Got to start playing better on Zbarf's side.
I definitely think one thing that could happen for Zbarf to come back here is Trip could decide to swag out to go get the Ocarina and do the Ocarina game. I think that would definitely lose some time. But other than that, I mean, we could see, there's major
We could
tricks
see him
coming up.
going for maybe some Gerudo archery. See him do the archery game. That would
that would be impressive if he was able to do that before we cut him off. Honestly,
that would get Zbarf back into it, as he does do the double KO. And Trip really comfortable with this inverted cam, which is it's always good to see that during runs. Definitely good for the fans, and yeah, why not? Doesn't really waste any time. Of course, if you get it. However, he does miss that B1 jump, so not too bad for him. Just going to do the backup here, the Tsundere jump. And Barf is still making his way to Bugs. I think Zbarf had trouble with this West Tagoma. Let's see how he does here. He definitely does an interesting setup. A really safe setup there is to do 2 crouch stabs and then just a side hop and slash. It's much easier. It's much easier to do it when your sword is already out, because that B input does not take as long to actually slash that sword. As we see Trip go into Wrong Warp, gets a pretty deep frame. We're going to try to see probably 1.5 steps here from Trip to get this. And that looks pretty good. Don't think that was too early. So I think we're going to see Trip going against tower here. And yep. Bonks there on the door frame. But I think he is pretty happy where he's at, especially compared to Zbarf. Definitely got to see some mistakes from Trip here if Zbarf is going to get back into this. Even if Barf plays flawlessly here, it's going to be tough if Trip doesn't make any major mistakes.
Yeah, we'll see how things go heading here into the rest of the run. Zbarf heading down to the bottom of the Deku tree. Trip, obviously, going for that insta. He had a bit of trouble with the insta void warp, so could see if that happens again. Would give quite a big opening, considering Zbarf does get this wrong warp, which is a key factor. He's got 8 nuts, though, so that's nice. Even if we, go on an early frame several times, we'll be good.
Yeah, again, Instaclip, a relatively new trick for Trip, and it can be a little bit difficult when you're kind of in between going from one trick to another, especially when it's something as big as Collapse. So maybe hasn't been practicing normal Void Warp that much, and still doesn't have a ton of experience with Instaclip. So we can definitely see a little bit of trouble here from Trip potentially. And it looks like Zbarf is going to get this wrong warp. Looks pretty good. That jump slash there. Enters the door. He would have been fine after that jump slash if he stayed targeted and entered the door at the right point. But I think just panicked a little bit there. And again, really hurting his chances here, as Trip is struggling here at Instaclip.
Yeah, I mean, the instructions behind wrong warp are quite unclear. Most tutorials don't really go into depth about how exactly like the specifics of what you need to do. It's like, do this every time and you'll get it right. So, a lot of people don't realize that once you get really close to the door, or like even just over the hump, like things start to matter quite a bit less, as long as you're ending the door at the correct angle and not doing anything majorly incorrect. it's not that precise. I mean, we've seen runners literally just like sit there and make sure they have the right angle to enter the door in that corner.
Yeah, so Trip getting a tough angle there and decided it wasn't worth going for. May have been just too tight to even pull off. So we see Zbarf going back into the house to pause and reset that cutscene pointer so that we can actually get the wrong warp, to work. Looks like Trip, not sure how his target and untarget were, but he's having a little trouble and decides not to go for a backup there. I think he knows that his targets and untargets were a little off. So maybe he sees that Barf is really struggling and is just deciding to go for wrong warp here.
Yeah, the standard void warp a bit more
Void warp, yeah.
easy to digest for sure. Looks like a good frame here. Should be getting. Oh, okay, no.
It's always tough. Yeah, that when you shield and target there, it's just. I think it's down to the timing of the roll. It really has nothing to do. And chat, you
There
can
we go.
correct me
That'll
if I'm
work.
wrong.
That'll work.
I'm not sure if it has to do when you hit L and R or L and Z, but it looks like Trip does have a good target untarget with Zelda, and I think this is going to be okay. Nice. It looks like Trip has done the void warp and is going to make his way in that void into the loading zone that he needs to go to.
Yeah, but Barf on wrong warp again. We need some energy in the chat. We need the chatters cheering for Z Barf. I know there's a lot of Barf boys in the chat. We need the energy. We need to get this. The energy coming out. We got some energy givers.
Ooh, Trip walking forward a little bit there, which can. I've seen a lot of people walk forward a little bit too far there. And when walking backwards, it can mess up the timing a little bit with the rocks. And I've seen a lot of crashes in that scenario. So Trip a little bit lucky there to get out of there unscathed as he goes into the Ganon cutscene.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was proven just now, giving energy to your favorite speedrunner in a speedrun race is actually the most important part of a speedrun race. It's not the speedrunner practicing. It's not the speedrunner's mentality. It's not the controller being clean. It is 100% whether or not the chatters are behind you. So definitely, next time, I don't know, Barf Boys, I don't know if we gave it enough early enough. Seeing you in the chat, but I mean, the spam, the emojis, they all matter.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously a death at Ganon can change everything. So this race is far from over. Definitely interesting. Barf had a pretty long day of commentating, did a lot of comms yesterday. Maybe just seeing a little bit fatigue here in these races, and that's tough. That rock there is tough and can sometimes spawn right on top of you. Already starting down half a heart. Just not this. These runs just not coming together for Barf. Really tough to see, but
the heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, the heat-seeking missile. We've seen the Goma egg. We've seen the rock. We've seen it all.
Oh no!
Oh, that's
Hessing right into Zelda. We're gonna be entering the stall zone at this moment. I'm excited. I'm excited to see some Stalfos here in the semifinals. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely gonna expect to see Barf try and finish this race as we see Trip going into the Ganon cutscene, which, like I said before, is magical. What a great entrance for your final boss. Yeah, we're about to watch a Ganon fight, and let's see how Barf handles himself coming down this tower. Definitely got to watch himself with that Zelda push, and we'll see how he handles himself at Stalfos. Stalfos can be arguably the hardest room in the game sometimes. This late game Child Link is very, 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 very difficult. Doing a jump there, but safely lands on the platform.
Yeah, I definitely think that's an arguable point, but the stall zone is the danger zone.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty spooky. They've got giant swords. You've got 2.5 hearts, and a jump slash from a Stalfos will take out 2 of those, so you really can't afford much damage. And there's...
Oh my God! And it's over! It's over! Again, double trouble for Barf! Not only breaking his stick on the Stalfos, but also running into the flaming burning rock. That is his run. It is all over. Trip is going to the finals, and he's going to face Lake.
That was hard to watch. Oh my gosh. I mean, the double whammy there was just brutal.
What an unfortunate way to end the run.
It was more like a triple whammy. I mean, you take the hit, you do the jump slash to the stall post, you realize your stick's broken, and then burn your shield. That's a heartbreaker. I mean, chat's got the not like this pouring out. I can agree there. We didn't want it to end this way, but looks like it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Trip successfully taken out the Dark Lord himself, and that's going to be it. There's no hope for Barf to come back there. Would have liked to see a finish run, but it's how it happens sometimes.
Yeah, that's how it goes, and really speaks to how difficult Stalfos can be. I mean, such a difficult
Nah,
room,
it's an
especially-
easy room. Come on, nobody ever dies there.
We're going to see Trip have his best race of the tournament, actually. Going to come in with, I believe, a 2021, something of that nature. A really, really impressive run for Trip, who's been playing very, very consistent this entire tournament. So, GG's to both runners, and we're going to get some post-game interview for you guys shortly.
Absolutely crazy. Pretty insane that Chip was able to save Hyrule like that. Actually nuts.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, gamers. Trip, congratulations. Moving on to the finals. How are you feeling about your performance in this one?
Oh yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. That one was ahead of PB by 6 seconds after Goma. It died to the west, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I saw you cruising
Hey,
and then
I'm
falling in the
down.
water
Are you
then.
down, buddy?
Oh, man, the talk is starting.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that's definitely the question that I want to ask is you've been playing really, really consistently lately. Lake is an absolutely ruthless opponent, such a good OOT player. How do you feel going up against Lake in the finals?
Big Monka. Big Monka. That's all I can say. Yeah, Lake's really good. Yeah, he's really good. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Look,
He's
I
very
mean, it's
consistent. He's got a damn good PV, and he's got a lot of experience under the belt, not just in DG, which actually helps just immensely, just getting your head around this game. So yeah, it will be a toughie, a very tough race.
And so, Trip, when you said that you were down, are you saying that you want to race Lake right away, or do you want to wait until tomorrow for that race?
I'm down in now, if everyone else is.
I'm not sure. Just looking at rumors from chat, I'm going to definitely hold my breath for talking about that because I don't want to confirm or deny anything. But yeah, great performance. Yeah, again, I'm gonna stop talking. But awesome job, Trip. Let's talk to Barf for a second. Some really tough races for you. How do you feel after definitely luck just not being on your side with those races?
Yeah, fun for sure. But it's part of the game, and I'm still learning and always trying to improve. So you got to have mistakes to, to build on to get better. Anyway, so I'm just looking forward, and yeah, hopefully I don't make those mistakes again. Hopefully I can kind of brush them aside and keep pushing forward.
Yeah, look, man. I mean, you're a racer, so you know that those kind of runs can happen, and we all know that you're a really, really great defeat Ganon no SRM runner. You're someone who's taught me a lot to help me get to where I am right now. So you're
That's
someone
really
who's
sweet.
really, really well respected in the community, and there's no shame in going down here. Trip definitely deserving. Had some really good races, so you put on an awesome show, and was really, really good to see you guys go head to head. But keep your head up. We'll definitely look forward to potentially seeing you in the next one, coming back with a big chip on your shoulder. And awesome
That's
job
right.
for both of you guys.
Thank you guys. Thanks for commentating. Thank you to all the people chatting, and
Absolutely.
a lot of great banter from chat. It was fun.
For
Having you guys
sure.
hanging out with us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the schedule here. I'm looking at the availability. I mean, Barf, you're not available anytime tomorrow, are you? So,
Oh, for
Um,
third place.
Yeah, I can be.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I can be. Yeah, I guess so. Do I go against Thunder?
Thunder, yeah.
You got me.
Okay. Yeah, we could pick a time. It's a little tight, but I can find some time.
Let me
All
know.
right, we will figure it out in the Discord. It looks like we won't be doing the finals now. Hopefully, we can get things situated for tomorrow. I mean, we could do the finals right now. I don't care either way, personally. Got a lot going on the channel tomorrow, so it might be tight on scheduling. It looks like Trip generally isn't available in the morning, so it would have to be at nighttime, which is fine. So we can do that, and then if Barf and Thunder are available like in the morning-ish time, like let's see, what time is that for? Or no, it'd be afternoon.
I could
Yeah, I'm
probably
not
do
available in the morning
afternoon.
EST, but afternoon EST is better for sure.
Yeah, it would be at like 2:30, I think. If I'm doing calculations right, would be the best. 2:30 EDT question mark.
I could probably do a 2:30. It might be a little bit early, but it's up to Zach.
So 2:30. I couldn't do it, but if you pushed it back one more hour to, let's see, to 3:30, that would be 1:30 for me. Could we do that, or is that too late in the afternoon by that point?
I think that would cut into the Mario. So let's just we'll discuss in the Discord and figure it out. Regardless, it looks like the finals will probably be tomorrow night. We'll figure it out. We'll post the schedule. If you want to keep up to date, join the Defeat Ganon No SRM Discord. Follow Global Speedrun Association on Twitter. The link is down below the video. I'll also plug that in the chat. Always posting the schedules there. If you want to keep up to date with everything going on, you can also bookmark the full schedule. Oh my gosh, the links are flying in the chat. Look at everything. Click all those links.
The bracket is fully updated, by the way, if you do want to check the bracket.
Yeah, if you don't click all the links, then you're banned. I promise none are a scam. None are gonna start mining cryptocurrency on your PC. 100%.
That bomb shoes link is kind of sus.
Yeah, no, don't worry. It's just a link shortener. It's just a link shortener. It's all good. It'll take you somewhere. Trust me.
Somewhere.
A surprise.
All right, well, we're going to wrap things up for now. I think we're going to go raid Richard because Richard is running this category and there's not much else going on in terms of speedrunning right now, I don't believe. So we're going to go say hi to Richard. Graciously put up the prize pool for the last tournament out of nowhere, so
yeah.
Very
nice
cool. Very epic.
Just more the runs.
Ooh. Ooh. I don't know, Trip. I don't know.
It's too late.
Do it.
Too early rating.
It's no biggie. I'm gonna just do some runs myself though. So
Oh my god, a spider just like jumped in front of my face. He's like building a web in front of me. Holy shit.
Dude, Sarah's gonna turn into Spider-Man.
IRL Sutulus.
Alright, we'll go say hi to Rich. Sorry, Trip. We said hi to you the other day. We'll say hi to you again soon, I promise.
You're all good. You rated me yesterday. The day before.
Everybody say hi. Hi to Rich, and we will see you tomorrow. Keep an eye on the Twitter for the updates. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.